We are ready to begin our next session, Safety, Well-being and Burnout. And for this, we would like to invite Mr. B.K. Hitesh on the dais, please, and would request him to commence the session.
Good afternoon. Am I audible to the last? Okay. Good afternoon. How are you? I was waiting for this. So if you're saying I'm fine, you're lying. You know, we have become accustomed to say, whatever the situation is, we are accustomed to say, I am fine. But that doesn't mean that if I ask you, how are you, and you start speaking, okay, sit, मैं बताता हूँ क्या चल रहा है exactly, है ना? That's not the case, but yes, we need to talk about peace. Let's talk about peace. Do you want to talk about it? Or do you think this is not in the trend? What do you think? So let me put this into perspective, the conference which we are talking about, the topic. So I was reading a report by McKinsey which said that India is set to lose 2 billion by 2030 just because of health aspect. And in that, more than 1.5 billion was due to mental health. Yes, I agree, we all know that how much money, how much economy, how much people we lose due to the safety aspect. But I am talking about depression, anxiety. These are the prominent reason for people to take leaves, not able to work properly. You all agree? Yes. So, before starting today's session, let's do one quick activity. I do this activity with kids, but I believe that we all are kids at heart. You all agree? Okay, so let's just leave everything, whatever is in your hand, or if your hands are like this. So this is a very simple instruction. Very simple, but still 50% of us will not do it correctly. So I am telling you beforehand, so be very, very alert. Okay? This is a checking that am I really in the present or not. Okay? Okay, raise your right hand. Okay, very good. So whatever I am going to speak, you have to follow it. Clear? Anyone? Any doubt? No doubt, right? Let me say it again. Whatever I am going to speak, you have to follow it, right? So bring your hand on your cheeks. Okay. So this is your cheek. Okay, maybe the confusion can be chin or cheek. That's okay. Agar aapne yahan kiya, I give you full marks. But many of us did this, right? Reason? Blindly following. There are two reasons to it. And this is related to whatever I'm going to talk and whatever we are speaking about it. First is, we are not really in the present. You agree? At this point of time also, there are tens of the things which are running in your mind right now. And one can be the lunch, right? So, I'll be quick. But yes, we need to talk about it. And second one is, people don't follow what I say. People follow what I do. That's what you did, right? So whatever I want to implement in my life, in my family, in my work culture, first what I need to do, I need to implement it on myself, right? So first point which I was saying, that why there is a negligence in the health sector, in safety, We talked about it. I was listening to prominent speakers since morning. But the root cause I'm talking about is, what I have learned from my experience is that we are not really in the present, right? So workers, when we talked about unorganized sector, most of them, they have tens of hundred of things running in their mind. And in India, that chalta hai attitude, hai na? Arey chalta hai, kuch nahi hota, nobody is seeing that, right? So this is one of the reason for us. Let's talk about us. We are talking about how to make changes, but I want to talk about us, that what can I do to improve myself and to implement the things which I may already know, right? So one thing I want to ask you is that, are you infomaniac? We have heard this term insomnia. Insomnia we have heard? What is this infomania? Has any one of you heard this term before? What does it feels like? क्या होगा इसका मतलब? Yes. So obsessed with keeping up with the latest information. How many of you do that? You have a day off, Sunday is off, nobody is asking you to do that, but you are still looking up on your mails, text message, whatever the communication is. How many of you do that? Everyone, right? Because this has become my identity, right? So this is one of the reasons that we have, I'm talking about us, I'm talking about everyone, so that we can address the real issue, right? We can go to the core of thing. So I'm just saying it out of humor. I was listening to you, you were saying that on your plant there is a alarm, like when you are not wearing those proper safety shoes or equipments, the alarm will go off. I want to suggest one thing. It's intangible, I know, but can we do that? That if the person is angry, is not in the present, or thinking about some other stuff, not really in the present, can there be an alarm? Possible? But the point I'm trying to say is that we need to develop the culture of first being present always, and to teach others also to be in the present, right? So we create awareness about safety, about health, but how do we create awareness about it? We create a fear, right? We give them the stats that this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this has happened, but that is only the 50%. The rest 50% is, we need to tell them that the root cause is the mental health, right? So this is the report which says, McKinsey, that 38% of the people show symptoms of burnout. And we are all part of that percent. 41% people show depression. 40% show anxiety. So the thing I want to talk about is burnout. Have you heard this term, burnout? Can anyone tell me what is burnout? Sorry? Exhausted, exactly, yes. Exactly. Yes. So my question to all of you is that, but we need to be very honest with ourselves. Will you be honest in answering that? Will you not look at your colleagues or someone else that ye kya samjhenge mere bare mein? Do you wear the badge of being busy? Do you wear the badge of being busy as an honor? Understood the question? So do yes or no. If you say yes, I am, you can do like that. If you think no, मुझे तो कहना पड़ता है कंपनी वालों को, भाई काम कर, इतना कम काम क्यों करता है? So what do you say? Do you wear the badge of being busy as an honor? I am very busy. I don't have time. So what happens? This is burnout. What happens? It is not going to affect, or it is not going to show symptoms to you initially. It takes time. The thing about mental health issues is, it is going to take some time for you to reflect it on your body, even in your behavior, right? So this makes us feel, it happened with me also, that I'm also a mechanical engineer and I worked with a Japanese company. And when I was working, after 2 years or after 3 years, I'm sure most of you can relate to it, I was like, itna simple काम, I used to do it with excitement, हो ही नहीं रहा है, मन ही नहीं कर रहा है करने का, I feel like I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it the next day. We procrastinate, right? You don't feel like doing it. And again, the question is, how many of you feel like when you wake up in the morning that, do I really need this job? Job chahiye kya mujhe? And there is one more question which comes after 10 or 15 days, it depends. Kya kar raha hu life mein? The existential crisis. Many of you, I can see many of you laughing because we all get these questions. The thing is, when the frequency starts increasing, that is the issue. That's when we have to address it, right? So you can all see that you feel fatigued. There is a cynicism, reduced happy moments. We feel like I have everything, whatever I dreamed of, right? When you were in college, you dreamed of this life, right? I used to watch on TV that, when I will be when I will grow elder, then, I'll be also having a briefcase, suit, boot, I'll go to office and I'll be very happy. But, you know that, right? What has happened and where we need to work. So that's why this feels like we have changed, but actually we are. There's no shame in calling that we are sick. Mental health is similar as physical health. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss about it. Let's not, live a pretentious life. You know what is pretentious life? Like how we started the conversation. How are you? Fine. So we need to talk about with ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves first. We can talk about it later to the other people, but we need to be honest that, I need some break. I need some time. So do we all want to do that? We'll talk about it, what all the tools we need to do that. But first thing which we need to do is that being in the present. This is the essence of all the spiritual studies, everything, and this is the way of life actually, being in the present. But we need to ask ourselves, are we really in the present? What do you say? Can any one of you just take 30 seconds, let's say, just take 30 seconds for self-reflection and ask yourself, can you check what kind of thoughts were there in my mind? Okay, it's still 2 p.m., 1 p.m., sorry. From tomorrow, can you check that what were my thoughts yesterday? Let's take 30 seconds and just check कि कल मैंने क्या सोचा पूरा दिन, क्या मैं चेक कर सकता हूँ, कर सकती हूँ? Okay. How many of you were able to see that these were my thoughts, positive, negative? Okay. And how many of you are not able to see? And how many of you don't want to say anything? You don't want to say? Huh. So the thing is, actually we do not really know that what were my thoughts, because it is on the autopilot mode. And this is the reason when it's 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m., 10 p.m., most of us feel like अब मुझसे कोई बात मत करना, मुझे अपने अलग सा कमरा चाहिए, अब कोई चेहरा मत दिखा देना अपना. Happens, right? Because those negative thoughts, those waste thoughts drains our energy and it affects our judgment power. That's why there is so much confusion. What to do, what not to do. And small things can make us feel conscious, make us feel confused. Think about the bigger things we have to think, right? So biggest practice we can do is being in the present. Reason being, we get angry. How many of you get angry? Almost everyone, right? So we think, after getting angry, we think कि अब बात तो इतनी बड़ी नहीं थी, पता नहीं कहाँ से गुस्सा आ गया, कहाँ से आया. That suppression was happening. For example, that we were supposed to start this conference in the morning, 9 a.m., right? So let's say a hailstorm came and everything went haywire, right? बहुत dust, बहुत कचरा आ गया, and what we did, we thought कि the cleaning is not possible, let's put carpets, okay? I'm just saying it, don't look down. So let's say we forget about this thing for 6 months. What is going to happen to that garbage which is below this carpet? What is going to happen? क्या होगा? Can you imagine? कैसा हो जाएगा, right? Similarly, what happens? We put things under the carpet. कोई बात हुई, कोई situation हुई, we thought about it. Let's say manager, my senior, said something, I can't argue back, I can't anger back, right? But what I did, you know what you do, right? अंदर ही अंदर क्या चलता रहता है, agree? That is suppression. Now what happens when it starts piling up, one day is going to come and it is all going to burst out like a volcano. Then we think, पता नहीं एकदम से कहाँ से आया, वो एकदम से नहीं आया. It is piling up every day. That's why we need to clean all the things. How many of you multitask? Yeah, right now also, है ना? So how many of you agree, ठीक है, that humans are made to multitask? Okay, especially ladies. But multitask means one task at one time. I agree कि having multifacets is a different thing, but how many of you agree that humans are made to multitask? Okay, how many of you don't agree? अच्छा, ठीक है. So, in my opinion, in my research, multitask is not possible, right? Yes, I agree that some of the tasks goes in our unconscious mind, like we do every day. Let's say we are driving to our office. We do it every day. We don't even have to think about it. Side by side, we are doing something else. But still that energy is going, right? So, thing is, can we practice this? Taking life one day at a time, doing task one at a time. Can we do that? I know what you are thinking. You are thinking एक दिन में 24 घंटे ही होते हैं, right? डिनर के वक्त कुछ काम करना पड़ता है, ये सब चीजें होती हैं ना? I agree. But once we start practicing this, you will be able to find that how much mental energy is saved. I can utilize, I can be more productive, I can be more creative. There will be clarity in my life. Because I can say it from my experience that when I started meditating, along with my job, with my business, I used to complete my work in 2 hours, and my colleagues were used to work for 8 hours, 9 hours. I used to get free by 12 p.m. So this is my experience of being in the present, because most of the time we get distracted. And we think that, yes, no, I'm focused, I'm doing it. You know? Like right now also. You think that I'm focused, कुछ नहीं होता, वो तो मैं सुन ही रहा हूँ. ये मैसेज तो करना ज़रूरी है ना? But no, that is taking away my energy and I'm not able to grasp it 100%. So first thing, let's practice. Sometimes it gets overwhelming. Like we are talking about 5 trillion economy. Sometimes it may get overwhelming. पता नहीं कैसे होगा, पता नहीं इतना कुछ unorganized sector है, उनको कैसे awareness होगा, am I doing it correctly or not, is it worth it, attending this workshop or not. There are a lot of things comes in our mind, right? So first thing which we should practice is being in the present. I'll explain it, how to do that, but this is the mantra which we can do to remove many fears from our life. Many psychological fears are there in our mind just because of there is a baggage, just because we think too much about the future. Agree? Yes, I have to plan. We all have to plan, but the planning goes into, you know that, right? It goes into worrying. So what I have been practicing for years is that when a thought comes in my mind that, you know, I have to do this, I have to do that in future, I dedicate a time to myself. I say night 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I will plan. Rest of the time I will be in the present. Right? So we talked about focus, and right now all our eyes are where? Here or here? Kahan hai dhyan? Let's bring here. Okay. So second thing which I want to talk about is that we all are passionate about our work, right? Agreed? Agreed? Yes. That's why we are here, right? So when we are passionate about the things, 2 things can happen. First is what you are reading is that the root cause of depression, aggression, addiction is because of the vacuum inside, and that vacuum is existential vacuum. We talked, है ना? क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं life में? What am I doing? है ना? This is the existential vacuum, and this is real. Why we fall in addictions, why we get depression is because of when I wake up in the morning, I do not have a zeal to work. I do not feel like I matter, I belong, I want to do something meaningful. Right? Second thing which can happen when we have a passion is I was listening to someone few months ago. He said, I went to a climate conference. He said, I get climate anxiety. Climate anxiety means he gets anxiety that what is going to happen to this climate. Similarly, it can happen to us also. That I am doing it right, why this person is not doing? Why other people are not doing it? So it's very important to focus on ourselves. That, okay, am I doing it correctly or not? That is the most important thing. Why? Because this matters to me. You know, again, it goes to very deep discussion of karmic cycle. I don't want to go to it today, but this is important for me. So when we have a purpose, when we have a goal in our life, that depression, that, you know, constant urge of addiction of any kind, social media addiction, it can be any kind of addiction. We all know that, you know, what kind of addictions I am into. So when we make our life with a purpose, then all these things will go away. Right? So spirituality, when we talk about, that is filling that existential vacuum. So let's do one thing. Let's start practicing solitude. Can we do that while we are working? 12 hours a day we work. Can we practice that? Do we get time for that? What would you say? Do we get time? Kab? When? Yes. So, do you agree? Again, I ask you the same question again. Do you think that peace, happiness, mental health, they are prerequisites, they are the needs? Do you agree? Or do you think that वो सब बाद में हो जाएगा, पहले अपना सेटल कर लूँ अपने आप को, करियर कर ले, शादी कर ले, बच्चे कर ले, रिटायर हो जाए, then I will do that. बच्चों हाँ हाँ हाँ, yes, agree that most of us think कि यार मेरा कोई बात नहीं, मेरे बच्चे सेटल हो जाएं, या many other people. But if I am not peaceful, remember this activity? If I am not peaceful, how can I teach others to stay peaceful, right? Values are caught, they are not taught. अब सिखाने से नहीं हो सकता है, right? We have to imbibe those things. So thing is that, do you agree or do you disagree that being peaceful is possible? Taking care of mental health is possible in this fast-paced life, in this culture when, you know, very casually we say कि यार बहुत politics है, बहुत toxicity है, toxic people है, right? Negativity है. We all say that. We all have that. I agree in all the organizations. But is it possible? Do you think? हो सकता है? Or it's an alien thing? Possible? One thing which we have to do is that after every 1 hour, can we take 2-minute break? And in that break, what we have to do? Not this. What we have to do? Take a walk. I saw that, you know, that outside place, very beautiful. Just take 2 minutes and talk to yourself. What to talk to yourself? I'm just coming on it. But what is going to happen, whatever negativity is going to come in my mind from the last 1 hour, 59 minutes, it will start going away. Right? So I don't have to go to mountains to feel peace. जाते हैं ना पहाड़ों में, उसके बाद वापिस आते हैं तो लेकर आते हैं पीस वहां की, सेम का सेम, राइट? सेम ओल्ड रूटीन. सो वो शांति पहाड़ों की है. आई हैव टू डू इट हेयर एंड इट इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल बिकॉज आई यूज्ड टू डू इट. As I said that I was working in Delhi, I was in Delhi, so I used to travel by metro. I used to plug in earphones, meditation music, and I used to practice meditation. So it's all about priority management. We always have time for important things. We can't say we don't have time. It's all about priorities, right? How do I feel that, how it can inculcate and how much it is necessary. Practicing digital detox, digital wellness, right? This is, nobody talks about this addiction, but this is the thing, right? So I was coming through flight yesterday and I observed people, and the lady was sitting next to me and the aeroplane was on highway and it was about to take and she was watching reels, right? So how much important it is. And I see, you see that, you know, People get restless, right, in the flight because they are not able to do anything. So what is happening? We have the tired minds. That's why there is so much less thinking, so much less creativity or inspiration in our life, because our minds are tired right now, because we have not given time to it, we have not given space to it. So can we do that? Can we do that? Is it possible? It is possible. Of course, you are going to fail, but again I have to pick myself up. So from many years, I have been practicing and teaching people no internet Monday. I know you'll say हमारा तो काम होता है, internet कैसे use ना करें. Okay, let's do it no social media Monday. You will realize how much time I have. कितना time है मेरे पास, right? And again, whatever I have put myself, put the kind of content I have put in myself, it is going to run, right? So I ask kids, I ask small kids that if you watch a horror movie today, what kind of dreams are going to come? Horror dreams, right? So whatever content I am consuming, that is also only going in my mind. इंडिया का स्कोर क्या हुआ, वर्ल्ड कप क्या हुआ, वही चलता रहेगा, right? So can we do that? After every hour, take 2-minute break. I know what you are saying. भाई कंपनी वाले बोलेंगे क्या कर रहा है, right? Here is a trick which I applied. किसी को बताना नहीं, ठीक है? What I did, I said that, sir, doctor has said me कि 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा बैठना नहीं है. I have trouble here. So I used to go for a 5-minute walk. This is not lying actually, okay? What is this? These are the tricks which you have to use, right? So instilling a belief that I can stay peaceful, stress-free, happy in this environment of competition. Can we instill this belief? Difficult, but possible. It is as much possible as having 5 trillion economy. Ambitious, but possible, right? So these beliefs are, creating the obstacles. So the other day I was in a company and I was waiting for the workshop, and there was some guy who said that, sir, उसने ना ऐसे ऐसे बोल दिया, मुझे गलत बोल दिया. And he said, तुमको भी 2-4 आपको सुना देनी चाहिए थी, right? So this has become the way of dealing. कि उसने गलत किया तो मुझे भी तो सेम करना है, उसने इतना किया तो I have to do that. So we need to look at ourselves, we need to self-reflect what really matters to me. The high-paying salary, very good position, but I am taking pills for BP, for anxiety, or 20% less salary, maybe 1 or 2 positions less, but I am leading a healthy life, peaceful life. So we need to reimagine success also, right? So what we need to practice is practicing soul consciousness. What does it mean? That I am a soul, not my position. How we introduce ourselves? I am so and so from this company, right? Because this has come in our identity so much that I can't even look further than that. But this is the eternal truth, that I am a soul and I am a peaceful soul. We are going to meditate on it for 2 to 3 minutes. But this is what I have to do after every 2 minutes. Can we do that? what is going to happen? All the wrong programming, whatever the negative programming, the acquired belief system which is there in my mind will start fading away. Okay? Then Supreme Soul Conscious, that is the next step, but I think we should just restrict it to the Soul Conscious. And I want to end today's my talk with this poem. I know it is not eligible to all, is it? Are you able to see? Oh, very good. Okay. So you can just go to Google and type the Mother Teresa Do It Anyway poem. I find it very beautiful, and this is the essence of what I have to do even in my corporate life, right? So I would read 2 or 3 lines. People are often unreasonable, illogical and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. What you spent years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. Give the word the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the word the best you have got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So when I think, when I will focus on myself, that I want to do this, this makes me happy, this increases my self-esteem. I want to do this because this is my purpose. Then if others are appreciating it or not, others are criticizing you, it is always between me and God. It is not between me and them anyways. But I have to practice this many times. We have to do the net practice so that when the situation comes, when your senior scolds you, when you don't get the increment, many issues, then you remember that okay, I have to work on the solution. Getting angry, getting anxious is not going to help me, right? So, thank you so much for your attention, and on last, I would just like to say that we are trying to do this. We are trying to create awareness about mental health, peace, happiness in many organizations, and it is helping all the organizations because we believe that all reason of all kind of pollution, all kind of greed is the mental pollution. So if we clean this up, we can definitely have a better future. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for the wonderful, session, Mr. B.K. Hitesh. May we now request Mr. Sudhir PV to kindly come up to the dais and felicitate Mr. Hitesh. Thank you.